These are 7 critical Tesla battery secrets that could cost you thousands of dollars if you don't know them before you buy. From hidden warranty exclusions to software-locked capacity, Tesla keeps some crucial information buried in the fine print. Let's start with the most expensive surprise waiting for Tesla owners. When your battery eventually needs replacement, you're looking at costs that would make most people reconsider their purchase decision entirely. A Model 3 or Model Y battery replacement will run you between $13,000 and $16,000 including labor. For the Model S and X, expect to pay $15,000 to $18,000 for older models, but if you own a newer Model S or X with the 100 kilowatt-hour pack, you're facing a bill between $20,000 and $22,000. Tesla charges $200 per hour for labor, and battery replacement is one of the most labor-intensive procedures they perform. But here's what makes this even more concerning. These aren't hypothetical future costs. Real Tesla owners are facing these bills right now, and many are discovering that their warranty doesn't cover nearly as much as they thought it would. Speaking of warranties, let's examine the fine print that Tesla doesn't exactly advertise on their website. Your Model 3 or Model Y standard range comes with 8 years or 100,000 miles of coverage, but only if your battery retains at least 70% of its original capacity. Long range and performance variants get 8 years or 120,000 miles, while most Model S and X vehicles get 8 years or 150,000 miles. But here's the first secret they don't tell you up front: normal battery degradation isn't covered. Even if your battery loses significant capacity, as long as it stays above that 70% threshold, you're on your own. And Tesla has some very specific exclusions that can void your coverage entirely. Flood damage, deep water exposure, or submersion will void your battery warranty completely. So will extreme overheating if you ignored the cooling system warnings. Any aftermarket modifications to the battery pack, DIY, high-voltage work, or damage from improper lifting points can void coverage on affected components. Perhaps most surprisingly, any changes to battery performance caused by software updates are explicitly not covered under warranty. Tesla offers an extended service agreement, but there's a catch that many owners discover too late. You can only purchase this extended coverage while your original warranty is still active. There's no grace period. Once your original warranty expires, you're permanently ineligible. The extended coverage costs extra, comes with a $500 deductible per service visit, and only extends coverage for 24 months or 30,000 miles. Now let's talk about something Tesla really doesn't want you to know about: their history of manipulating battery capacity through software updates. In 2019, Tesla pushed a software update that secretly reduced battery capacity and charging speeds on thousands of older vehicles. Owners suddenly found their cars couldn't charge as fast or travel as far. But Tesla didn't announce these changes or explain why they were happening. The most egregious case went viral in 2022 when Tesla hacker Jason Hughes exposed a particularly outrageous situation. A customer brought their Model S in for routine service, and during that visit, Tesla locked 80 miles of driving range behind a paywall. The company told the owner they could unlock the previously accessible range for $4,500. This wasn't an isolated incident. Tesla used to sell Model S vehicles with software-locked battery packs as a regular business practice. For example, the Model S40 was actually a Model S with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery pack that was artificially limited to 40 kilowatt-hours through software. Tesla presented this as offering different range options without complicating production, but it meant customers were literally carrying around battery capacity they had paid for but couldn't access. The company eventually reached a settlement and agreed to compensate owners who had their range and charging capabilities reduced, but the precedent was set. Tesla reserves the right to modify your battery's performance through software updates, and such changes aren't covered under warranty. Here's something that might shock you. There's approximately 5 kilowatt-hours of energy blocked at the top of your battery and another 5 kilowatt-hours blocked at the bottom. That's a massive energy reserve that most Tesla owners don't even know exists. This buffer protects the battery cells from damage, but it also means you're never actually using the full capacity of the battery you purchased. Every Tesla actually has 2 separate batteries, and most people only know about one of them. The large propulsion battery powers the motors and gets all the attention, but there's also a traditional 12-volt battery that powers accessories, lights, and security systems. This 12-volt battery can fail independently of the main pack, and when it does, your entire car becomes inoperable even if the main battery is fully charged. The type of battery chemistry in your Tesla makes a huge difference in how you should treat it, but Tesla's guidance on this is often buried or unclear. If you have a newer Model 3 or Model Y, you might have an LFP battery instead of the traditional NCA chemistry. Here's how to tell the difference. Open your charging menu and look at the slider. If you see options for daily and trip, you have an NCA battery. If you see just 50% and 100% options, you have an LFP battery. This distinction matters enormously for battery longevity. NCA batteries should only be charged to 80% for daily use to minimize degradation. Keeping them at 100% regularly stresses the chemistry and shortens their lifespan. LFP batteries, on the other hand, can and should be charged to 100% at least once per week according to Tesla's own recommendations. But here's the trade-off Tesla doesn't emphasize. LFP batteries have about 10% less range than equivalent NCA batteries, and they perform significantly worse in cold weather. In freezing temperatures, LFP batteries can lose much more capacity and may not charge at all until they warm up. Tesla doesn't always make it clear which chemistry you're getting when you order. Let's address the elephant in the room: Tesla's range inflation problem. Multiple investigations have revealed that Tesla intentionally programs their cars to show optimistic range estimates when the battery is full. According to a Reuters investigation, this decision came directly from Elon Musk, who reportedly wanted to show good range numbers when fully charged, because seeing a 350 or 400-mile range makes buyers feel good about their purchase. The algorithms become more accurate only after the battery drops below 50% charge. 3 Tesla models have been found to fall short of their advertised ranges by an average of 26% in real-world testing. The EPA has required Tesla to reduce their range estimates multiple times since 2020. And South Korean regulators found that Tesla cars achieved as little as half their advertised range in cold weather conditions. Tesla's response to the flood of range complaints was to create what they called a diversion team, a special group dedicated to handling range cases without actually investigating whether there were real problems with the vehicles. By late 2022, this team was simply closing cases without running diagnostics, essentially telling thousands of customers there was nothing wrong with their cars without ever verifying if that was true. Real-world battery degradation follows a predictable pattern that Tesla doesn't explain clearly to buyers. Expect about 3 to 5% capacity loss in the first year or two as the pack beds in. This initial degradation happens quickly, then slows dramatically. Most Tesla batteries lose about 8 to 10% of their capacity by 100,000 miles, and aggregate owner data shows most vehicles retain 85 to 90% capacity, even at 200,000 miles. Geotab's analysis of over 22,000 electric vehicles found that Tesla batteries degrade at an average rate of 2.3% per year as of 2024, up from 1.8% in previous studies. The increase is attributed to more frequent fast charging, as charging infrastructure has expanded. Tesla's own data suggests about 12% degradation around 200,000 miles for Model S and X vehicles. One of the most controversial topics is the impact of supercharging on battery life. Tesla used to warn against frequent fast charging, and conventional wisdom held that DC fast charging was bad for battery longevity. However, a 2023 study of over 12,000 Tesla vehicles found no statistically significant difference in range degradation between cars that fast-charged more than 90% of the time versus those that fast-charged less than 10%. But newer research from 2024 suggests a more nuanced picture. Geotab's analysis found that high-power DC fast charging is indeed a dominant stressor leading to higher annual degradation rates. The key factors appear to be charging in extreme temperatures and charging at very low or very high states of charge, where battery resistance is higher. Tesla's most ambitious battery project, the 4680 cell, has become one of their biggest secrets because it's largely been a failure. Announced with great fanfare at Battery Day in 2020, these cells were supposed to enable a $25,000 Tesla and revolutionize the industry. 5 years later, they're only used in the Cybertruck, which has become what many consider a commercial failure. In late 2024, Elon Musk reportedly told the 4680 team to cut costs and scale up by the end of the year, or the project would be abandoned. The most damning evidence came in December 2025 when South Korean supplier L&F announced that their $2.9 billion contract to supply materials for 4,680 production had been cut by over 99%. A reduction of that magnitude essentially means the contract was canceled. Even if Tesla meets its cost reduction targets, industry analysts suggest 4,680 batteries may still cost twice as much as competing cells from CATL and BYD. The dry electrode manufacturing process that was supposed to make them revolutionary has proven difficult to scale, and engineers are still struggling with a problem that causes cells to collapse on themselves during use. The Cybertruck sales numbers tell the story. Market estimates suggest only 35 to 50,000 units sold in 2024, with sales declining over 50% year-over-year in recent quarters. This explains why Tesla is winding down 4,680 production rather than scaling it up. If you're considering a Tesla purchase, here's what you need to know about maximizing battery life. For NCA and NCM batteries, which are in most older Teslas and some newer ones, charge only to 80% for daily use. Keeping these batteries near 100% constantly stresses the chemistry. For LFP batteries, which are in many newer Model 3 and Y vehicles, Tesla actually recommends charging to 100% at least once per week. Avoid fast charging in extreme heat, and always precondition your battery before fast charging in extreme cold. While occasional supercharging won't dramatically harm your battery, heavy reliance on fast charging can accelerate degradation over time. Sustained high-speed driving also heats the battery and increases current draw, which is tougher on the cells. Perhaps most importantly, understand that battery degradation is normal and expected. Tesla's warranty only requires 70% capacity retention, which means you could lose up to 30% of your range and still have no recourse. Factor this into your purchase decision, especially if you're buying a Tesla with barely adequate range for your needs. The hidden costs don't stop at battery replacement. Tesla's service model is designed to maximize revenue from owners throughout the vehicle's life. Many repairs that would be routine maintenance items on other cars require expensive Tesla-specific parts and can only be performed at Tesla service centers. As Tesla batteries age and eventually need replacement, the economics become challenging. A $15,000 battery replacement on a 5-year-old Tesla might exceed the vehicle's remaining value. Unlike traditional cars where major component failures can often be repaired affordably by independent shops, Tesla's integrated design and proprietary technology mean expensive replacements are often the only option. Looking forward, Tesla continues to refine their battery technology. The company has introduced Battery Health Mode in 2024 software updates, which optimizes charging patterns through firmware. They're also working on solid-state technology that could potentially deliver 1 million kilometer lifespans, though this remains years away from production. Tesla's Nevada Gigafactory now recycles 92% of battery materials, which could help reduce replacement costs in the future. But for current owners, the reality is that battery replacement remains expensive, warranty coverage has significant limitations, and Tesla maintains the ability to modify your battery's performance through software updates. Before you buy a Tesla, factor in the total cost of ownership, including potential battery replacement. Understand exactly which battery chemistry you're getting and how that affects charging recommendations. Read the warranty exclusions carefully and consider whether the extended service agreement makes sense for your situation. Most importantly, don't rely on Tesla's range estimates for your purchasing decision. Real-world range, especially in cold weather, can be significantly less than advertised. If you need every mile of Tesla's claimed range for your daily driving, you should probably look at a model with higher capacity or consider whether an electric vehicle is right for your needs. These battery secrets represent thousands of dollars in potential costs and significantly impact the ownership experience. Tesla's marketing focuses on the exciting aspects of electric vehicle ownership, but these hidden realities can turn that excitement into expensive frustration if you're not prepared for them.